Alright, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is, we're doing this in PowerPoint. If you've seen any of my other kind of list videos, this is just how I do it. Look, I'm not very artistic, but I like making videos. PowerPoint gets the job done. But this is my top 10 want list. I'm sure if you guys watch other comic book channels, they've probably done one of these in the past. There's a lot of reasons to do this. A is to help your spending habits. If you have a goal, if you have your want list, then you're going to be more likely to stick with that. Now, that's not necessarily true in this instance because these are my want books, not necessarily my realistic books. I think at the end of the year, if I have one of these books, it's a good year. If I have multiple, it's an even better year. I put a couple of books on here with the hope that they would be easy enough to get. Maybe find them in some back issues where people just don't really know to look for these books. But other than that, there's going to be a lot of big keys on here that I want and a lot of sentimental books. A second reason to be doing this is kind of in the same vein to shrink what you're going for instead of saying, well, I'm just going to, the first reason was to kind of buy with some importance. The second reason is to kind of narrow it down, and maybe there should be flip-flop because with this list, it's not going to be all over the place. There's not going to be a lot of variety. This is something that Justin and I struggled with in our first year doing this. I was mostly buying Teen Titans. He was mostly buying Spider-Man. So he had a really good Spider-Man collection. I had a really good Teen Titans collection, and almost nothing in between. When you watch people who do top 50 list or something like that, they have keys just all over the place. And if we did ours, it would be like, here's a Teen Titans book, here's a Teen Titans book, here's a Teen Titans book. So, but you're going to see that with this list is I actually tried to laser it down, and I spent 2020 getting a lot of variety. Over the course of the end of 2019 into 2020, I got Man Called Nova, I got First Appearance of Doomsday, I got Mephisto. My keys were kind of all over the place. Got some Black Panther keys. I tried to kind of mix it up, get some X-Men keys, get some Spider-Man keys. But now with 2021, I want to get back into that laser focus. So you're going to see that. This is not going to be 10 different series. It's going to be 3 or 4, maybe 5 at most series that occupy this 10. So, little bit of a long-winded preface, but it's just to kind of understand how you could benefit from making your own list. Of course, you don't have to do a video. You can just get down a sheet of paper and say, what 10 books do I want to get this year? And how can I set a budget? How can I sit down a plan? How can I use my group, my community, my position in your area? We're in a very comic book centric position. So how can you use all of that to your advantage to try to get your top 10 books? But again, this isn't going to be super realistic. If I put super realistic books, this would be the most boring top 10 there is. It would be, some Daredevil run filler, some Ghost Rider run filler. I left out run filler, though I would be more than happy getting some Daredevil run filler, some Teen Titans run filler. But that is why you'll see comic book channels do this, aside from it being an easy video for us to make. Okay, moving on. Number 10. Let me figure out if I can. There we go. Cool. Number 10 is Marvel Spotlight number 5, and I tried to help you guys just in case you didn't know what the books were or why they were important to me. I threw up some little goodies. It's the first appearance of Ghost Rider. At least in motorcycle version. There are Ghost Riders that predate this in the Western genre. What is that, like the 50s? Definitely probably in the 60s too. So for me, this is my most sought after book. I put this up there with, the Detective Comics 27, the Action Comics 1, the AF 15. This would be number 4. Below that list is First Appearance of Ghost Rider. Move over, Wonder Woman. But it's way too expensive at the grade I want. I don't if I found Staples Detached Marvel Spotlight 5 for like $20, I'd probably buy it. But that's not really the copy I'm looking to hang my hat on. I want something we can send to CGC, potentially, and have it grade really high. You know, the bare minimum I think I would spend any level of money on would probably be a 5. And that's spending any kind of money now. Again, I would, if it's low enough, I would probably buy a low grade book, but only if it's cheap enough. But anyway, no point in talking about that. Alright, number 9 is Fantastic Four Annual number 6. With Thanos dead, I've been kind of wanting to put a lot of eggs in a lot of different baskets for who the next big villain is. I can already promise you, as well as probably almost everybody else on the face of the planet, Galactus will probably be the next big baddie. But that's not going to be at least until what? Probably phase 6? Probably? I don't even know what phase we're in now. What are we in? Phase 4 or 5? Either way, there's got to be someone occupying that space. Now, right now, I've got first Korvac. I've got first Mephisto. I've taken some shots on some space villains that I think have a chance to occupy that space right now. One of the problems with Annihilus is, you know, he's got these ties to the Fantastic Four. So would we have to wait for Fantastic Four to get here to get Annihilus? And if that's the case, I don't know what his ceiling is, because then we're going to have Galactus. But either way, I'm not sure what makes this book so expensive, if it's Annihilus or if it's Franklin Richards. Either way, this book is way too expensive at the condition that I want. I found it for maybe like $100 last year, but the cover was entire, like someone took origami, folded this sucker up, stuck it in their pocket for a day, and they wanted about $100 for it. And that's the only copy I've seen in person. But I just, no way. I'll just go without before that happens. Now, admittedly, I don't know what the cosmic control rod is, but hey, it's there too. Again, no point in talking about this book because it probably just won't happen unless I get super lucky. Alright. Daredevil number 1. Another book that's probably not going to happen unless I get super, super lucky. I thought this was a great book to go after. It's always been kind of expensive, but you know, he's always kind of flirted with A tier, B tier. I kind of consider him where Iron Man was before the MCU took off. Just good characters that are kind of undervalued. Daredevil got the Netflix series. That's over with. So I was thinking, man, now's a good time to go after this book. But now that the Netflix rights are up or whatever, they're talking about getting him into the MCU. There's talks of him being Peter's lawyer. A lot of rumors, a lot of talking. So this went from probably what was going to be the book that I just went after either this year or next year. But now this is up there, I think, now, and just probably not going to get it in any grade that I would be willing to spend money on. So I would love this book. It's probably my number 2 book under Marvel Spotlight 5, but it's just probably not going to happen. All right, number 7 is Justice League of America number 2. I have seen this book in person. I've had the money to buy it, but it was super sun-faded, and is at a place that doesn't really like to haggle, so I was not going to spend a lot of money on a sun-faded copy. It's on eBay a good bit, but I still just have... That's really been my problem. Some of these books, I just haven't seen them at a grade I want where a price correlates with that. But this is the first appearance of Dr. Light, as evidented by the cover. And as you can see here, he started off with the Justice League number 12, which would not be my lowest Justice League. He would later go on to be a villain for the Teen Titans in the Marv Wolfman, George Perez run. He is in it like almost right from the jump. I think like episode 3, he's formulating the... did I say episode? Issue 3. He's formulating the Fearsome 5 or whatever they're called. And he's their leader for a minute. Anywho, he's even in the show. The Teen Titans, formerly DC, now HBO show, or whatever you want to call it. He's in that. So, cool. Number 6 is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 4. This was the run published by Hamilton before ultimately getting the run with Marvel. It's the first appearance of White Ranger. I tried to do some research. I'm assuming this is the first appearance of Tommy Oliver. I'm guessing he would have been White Ranger at this time. I don't think there would have been any other White Rangers unless this is a comic exclusive White Ranger, not tied to Tommy. I don't know. Anyway, this is probably the most affordable key on this list, and I think it's the book I have the highest chance of finding in a dollar bin, because this cover is horrendous. Most of them are from the Hamilton run. I don't think people are gonna really be looking for this book. I don't know. I hear people talk about G.I. Joe and Transformers and TMNT, and I would think Rangers would be right there with them, and nobody talks about the Power Rangers. So I think this has a shot. Of course, us on the comic book community know, this is good stuff, but I don't know if people know. Up next is Daredevil 168. This is the first appearance of Elektra. It's the first repeat, I think. As in, Daredevil #1 made the list. So this is just a strong character and a love interest of Daredevil. I don't have Daredevil 1. I don't have Daredevil 168. People are going to be like, are you even a Daredevil collector? Because I feel like, what is this, Bronze Age-ish, 1980? I'll let you nerds fight that out. This is one of, definitely Bronze Age. This is one of, I think, should be one of the bigger keys from the Bronze Age. Elektra has starred in the Daredevil movie. She's starred in the Elektra movie, and she has starred in the Daredevil Netflix series. She has staying power. She's a fan favorite character. She's stood the test of time so far. We're 40 years past her creation, and she's still just as relevant today. So I think it's a good key. Everyone's hyped about She-Hulk. She hasn't even come out yet. Whereas Elektra has been in stuff. She's done stuff. Anyway, probably reasonable depending on condition. Probably a reasonable book. All right. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1. The first full appearance of the Power Rangers in comic book form. They appeared in like a magazine and then like a one-shot or something like that. A lot of these indie characters really don't make their first appearance in their books. Usagi Jimbo didn't. I don't think the Turtles did. I just think this is something that happens with these indie comics. They appear in magazines and other runs and stuff like that. They just pop up in preview books, and I don't know, it's weird. They almost never make their first appearance in their own run. But this is a book I could get on eBay right now and buy and not lose too much sleep about it. That's one reason it's on here. Another reason is I just want to go after these Power Ranger books. I've been reading the split. You got Mighty Morphin now and you got Power Rangers also. They've been very good. I kind of just want to get Power Ranger keys because the run has been pretty good. So anyway, Hamilton, started with Hamilton, then we go on to Marvel, and finally would end up with Boom Studios. #3 is Daredevil 131, the first appearance of Bullseye. Obviously one of Daredevil's most famous villains. In fact, if you polled a casual person, they could probably only name Kingpin and Bullseye. That's okay. That kind of speaks to how popular they are. And, of course, Bullseye has already appeared in the movie. I think I heard he's in Season 3, but I have not watched Daredevil Season 3. Simply put, as I tell people, going into that season, or by the time I was getting ready to watch that season, it had already been canned. Like, I guess Marvel was announcing Disney Plus, or Disney was announcing Disney Plus, or some crap like that. I don't remember. So that universe just kind of felt unfinished. So I didn't watch Punisher. I didn't watch... Did Jessica Jones get a second season? If it did, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch Daredevil Season 3. I didn't watch Iron Fist. I didn't watch The Defenders. I think that got a season. It just felt like it's going to be incomplete. And okay, one heart attack Jessica interruption later. I don't remember if we were done or not, but yeah, there's #3. #2, Brave and the Bold, #54. This is the first appearance of the Teen Titans, though if you read that comic cover, that does not say Brave and the Bold presents Teen Titans. That is because at this point in time, they had not accepted or taken on the Teen Titans monikers. So this was Kid Flash, Aqualad, and Robin. I have read this one digitally. It's an interesting story. Everyone I know that likes the Titans says like anything pre Marv Wolfman and George Perez really isn't worth reading because it's really geared towards 5-year-olds. But anyway, I love comic book history, so this is something that I want. And when I say technically not a first appearance, of course, Robin would appear in... He appeared in 27 also, Batman, right? Aqualad appeared in whatever that obscure book is with Aquaman, and Kid Flash appeared in that one book with the Weatherman or something like that. I don't know. They all already appeared in other books. So it's not technically a first appearance of anything, though, here they are all gathered together. Significantly smaller, too. Well, here we go. Brave and the Bold, number 60. As you can see, right smack dab on the title, Teen Titans. So the team officially accepts the name Teen Titans. It would be the second appearance of what would go on to become the Teen Titans, and would mark the first appearance of Donna Troy, Wonder Girl. So I give this book the slight edge, because it is the first appearance of Wonder Girl, and they go by the name Teen Titans. So you could make the argument that this isn't even the Teen Titans. You could make that argument. You shouldn't, but you could. But this is undoubtedly a Teen Titans appearance. And the first appearance of Wonder Girl. So for me, this is my number one. I would like to get both this year. If I got both and didn't get any other book on this list, I would be fine with that. But this has been a really long top 10. Hopefully you guys got some, collecting strategy out of it. But these are going to be the books I go for. At the end of the year, we'll do a recap and see how many of these books we hit. Honestly, probably not that many. I mean, the first 3 aren't even realistic. Elektra and Bullseye are going to be tough. The Power Ranger stuff should be reasonable. And the Teen Titans books are 2 that I really hope to get. So, that's going to do it for this one. Let me know what your goal books are for the year. And I will see you guys in the next video.